and see Hazel, who apparently makes jewellery, and I think she might be in this building here. Hello.
Oh, it's the Angie.
Hi, nice to
Take her out the studio.
Brilliant. Okay. Really looking forward.
Okay, I don't understand that if they're selling this for £60 the shop, why you don't have a shop?
Why I don't have a shop? A couple of reasons. One of the reasons is because a shop is very, very expensive. And we did look into renting a shop, and it was £27,000. That was just somewhere around the corner, and the rates were £9,000. So that was loads of money before we made any money at all. This place, rent-wise, is really, really cheap. And because I've had a lot of studios over the years, I realised that the higher you go, the cheaper they are.
Didn't know that.
Yes, and I've always been up lots and lots of stairs, and it's not very much money. I invested in more equipment. I decided I needed all the dyes and all of the stuff to make this particular product, and I knew this would make me money. So that's what I did. I then decided to do trade shows and then get the buyers to come to me, buyers from galleries and shops and art centres.
And how do you get the buyers to remember you?
Well, one thing I do, which is dead sneaky and really, really easy, I give them free things. So when I do the trade shows and I hand out all my brochures and things, when people ask me, and I go, yes, here you are, the price list and all that, and chat to them about the product and tell them what it is. And then I always say to them, why don't you take this to remember what it is? And I give them a free ring. So it's just a little ring in a bag, and it just says, with compliments from Hazel Atkinson Jewellery. I do all the dyeing, put all the colours on, and make it into jewellery. So for instance, I get a piece of metal like this, I put it in the guillotine. To make a bangle, like one of these, I have to cut it 3 centimetres. So I put it in here, and then move it along to there. Be moving your fingers down, and there you have a piece like a bookmark.
Yes,
Okay. And then from there, I've got another little machine that takes the corners off, another little machine that puts a texture on it, another one. So I've got lots and lots of machines. There are people all the time who are coming up with a new idea, or I go, I thought about that, why didn't I do that? They've jumped in before me. So you have to be 2 steps ahead all the time. Or I just carry on doing the jewellery and am the best at it. And I'm the person that everybody has to come to if they want to buy anodised aluminium jewellery.
So, one, if you're going to stick to one thing, be the best at it.
Of course.
Or you just have to keep reinventing something new all the time.
Yeah.
To stay ahead.
Yes. And every time I do a show, I have to do new things.
Yeah.
I have to have new brochures, new colours, another gimmick. And then people come back. Because all the 200 shops I sell to, they have to have new stuff, because all those thousands of customers will come in and just say, it's the same as it was last year.
Yeah.
So it has to change all the time.
And what, do you have a graphic designer who does all this for you?
No, what I do is I get all the photos from the photographer.
Yep.
And then I literally cut and stick it on with a piece of sellotape and draw a little squiggly picture of how I would like it to be, and I send it to the printer.
So you use the trade shows to kind of
do all the selling.
as your part of the marketing and your branding.
Yes.
So okay, there's loads of trade shows.
Yeah, tons, more than anybody needs.
And expensive?
Very.
Worth it?
Yes, but it has to be. I have to do them, because if I didn't do them, then all the buyers would think I died. So that's basically it.
Do you know what? This has been brilliant. Loads of things in there that I didn't actually think about before. So I know you're really busy, so I'm going to just leave you to it. Thank you so much.
I think you need to see Matt, Rusty Monkey.
Hi, Angie.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. Follow me. We're primarily a creative agency, so we do lots of stuff. Basically anything that a company might want to help communicate, like if they wanted to develop their brand or their tone of voice or their marketing, we could help them with that. So we do graphic design, web design, video work. And we're also very technically minded guys, so we do development work as well, web development,
That's a lot of
complicated
stuff.
programming. We do a lot of stuff, yeah. So your branding is basically, it can include your logo, should include your logo. It would include things like a normal brand document might include what fonts you should use in your literature, what your colour palette is.
I don't have a lot of money. Is that going to cost me a lot of money?
Well, you can get it done reasonably inexpensive if you can pair with a graphic designer who can understand what you need to do. You could have very basic brand guidelines to start, and as you get bigger, you can develop those brand guidelines. Getting people to fill other parts of your business might be a good way to start, because if you're trying to do everything on your own, you've got the whole weight of it all on your shoulders. Whereas if you've got somebody who might be a bit of an expert that can complement your skills, you might get better traction. One thing you might want to do, for instance, is make sure you get good natural rankings in search engines for your key phrase. So if you're selling painted bananas, you want to do well for painted bananas, you'd have to pay a company such as us to optimize your site, find out what people are searching for to try and get to painted bananas. They might search for custom color fruit, for instance, and we'd want to connect you to that audience. So your site would need to be optimized for that.
It's a good place to be.
It's a great place to be. We love Nottingham. From a business perspective, it's good because it's slap bang in the middle of everywhere. You know, it's got an airport nearby, and where we are here in the Creative Quarter and the Lace Market, there's lots of similar companies, so we can collaborate with them. So we tried out the Lace Market house, and we met Nick, who runs the place, who was just a really lovely guy, and he was really keen to use some of our skills to help him in return for him helping us as well. So we helped him with his online marketing and get more people in the building, and in return he gave us a bit of a discount on the rent of the room. So we did a bit of work there and collaborated with the people who we rent the building off for mutual gain for us both. So that worked out really well.
Kind of an interesting thing, that kind of mutual exchange of kind of skills. That's kind of might pick that up actually. I might steal that one from you.
I don't know.
Because I think you've got to be thinking about branding all the time.
No, generally, yeah.